another look at some words and some definitions to do with functions. Now, some of these you have heard previously and some of them are new to you today. So I've put the meaning in here on your OneNote page. This is clipped directly from your book. So the domain is, in a function like this, the domain is the first set. Okay, so you've heard me use that word before. So this is the domain. And the codomain is the second set. It's the set of all the possible outputs, whereas the domain is the set of all the inputs. Okay, so here in this example, we're asked to identify the domain. And if you're asked to identify the domain, you're just listing out all the elements in the domain set. And I'm just going to read them off the diagram. -1, 0, 1, and 2. -1, 0, 1, and 2. So that's the domain set from the diagram here. Then we're asked for the codomain. And again, we're just listing out the codomain elements right from the diagram. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I list them in my sets, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Because it's a set, a group of objects, a set, I'm using my set brackets. That's really important. You have to include them. So we've met those words yesterday in the last lesson, and we also met the word input and output. So any member of the domain is called an input. Okay, so you can see that word there, input. And any member of the codomain is the output. It's the number that comes out of the set. So most of the elements of the codomain are possible outputs. So there's one new word today, and that's the range. So the range is new to us today. And the range and the codomain are linked. So the codomain is this group here. It's the set of all possible outputs. Any element that could possibly be an output of the function is in the codomain. So then what's the range? The range is just those outputs that are used, that are mapped to. Okay, so if you look in the codomain element here, there are 5 elements, but not all 5 elements are mapped to. Not all 5 elements are linked. So only the ones that are used, that are linked, are in the range. So if we have a look in this group, 2 is linked, 3 is linked, 4 is linked to 5, but not 6. So the range, again, is the outputs that are actually used, the actual outputs that the function uses. And that's just 2, 3, 4, and 5 in this example. Okay, and then there's one last question that they want us to do, and they want us to list the ordered pairs. So we're just going to list the linked couples in this set. So -1 is linked to 2, 0 is linked to 3, 1 is linked to 4, and 2 is mapped to 5. And so that's the ordered pairs, the list of couples for this function.